from the lighter side of pest control. This is the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast with your hosts, Jack and Brad.
From the lighter side of pest control, this is the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast with your hosts,
God damn it.
Jack and Brad.
Those fucking ants again.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Yay!
Oh, what lives in a pineapple under the sea?
March, SquarePants!
Invisible. What's up, guys? Welcome to Tales from the Crawl. Whoa. Oh, God. Something in yellow and porous is heat.
Absorbent yellow and
Absorbent in yellow and porous is heat.
SpongeBob! If nautical nuts be something you wish.
The drop of the deck and flop like a fish.
See, when I hear that, I always think of the alligator dance from Animal House.
Mm-hmm.
Alligator! They hit the ground like...
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Otis, my man. Well, boys and girls, if you haven't figured it out already, you have arrived at another titillating episode of Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. And we are TFTC live. So welcome aboard, mateys, and for another one. So, Jack, how you been this week?
Oh, I've been all right. I had a bit of a debacle having to go back and forth to the dentist and all that good shit. So that was a full day. So my dentist is 80 miles away because I got my dental work shit done when I was living out that way. So with the warranty I have with them, I had to get out there the night before, get there first thing in the morning. Then I had to go to this laboratory to have things fixed and then go back to the dentist again. So it was back and forth across the D.C. metropolitan area in traffic, which, look, I live on a mountain. I don't like traffic. I do not like traffic. Traffic can go fuck itself.
Especially oncoming traffic when you're trying to get up and down that motherfucker.
Oh, my God. Just pain in the ass. So, but that's how my week went for the most part. The next day I had a eye appointment and got my prescription renewed so I can get my ass on Zenny and get a pair of glasses for $7.
Noise. Man,
How about you?
Me and my fucking eye. It's been nothing but eye. I'll tell you what, Jack, if next time, if something like this happens again where I'm down with my eye like this, if it happens to the other eye, and that eye doctor gives me a prescription for painkillers, I'm going to wad it up and throw it back at him, tell him, give me a prescription for antidepressants, because I'm telling you what, man, this has been rough. And matter of fact, make it 2 prescriptions for antidepressants, one for me and one for Ellen, because she's fucking needing it dealing with me. I've been a fucking basket case. I can't, I can actually look ahead now because you see I'm not laying over the side.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least you're upright.
So, yeah, so I can, so I can get up, I can sleep right, I can look, sleep right, look up, just like normal, and
no head banging,
man, no head banging. I can drive a little bit, things like that, but I can't bend over and I can't lift anything over 10 pounds. Hi, Candace. So there's where I'm at right now, and it's driving me batshit. And I top that off with the shitty weather we've been having. It got really fucking cold. It's springtime. I want to get out. I want to get some dirt under my fingernails, get some onions planted, get some radish planted, get that cold weather shit going. Can I do any of that? Oh, hell no. No, it's too fucking cold, and I'm too fucking one-eyed. So I'll be better, Jack, but this is not that week.
Well, I'll tell you, speaking of green thumb, I've got a tray, those little seed starting trays with little 72 pods in it.
Yeah.
Of red creeping thyme. And I'm it's going pretty good under the grow light, and I'm waiting for it to get a little bit more stout before I get all 72 of them put along the swale behind the house. But the swale. I'll have it all purdied up by this summer, though, so I can enjoy the beauty while I'm relaxing in my rednecky hot tub.
That's right. So I tell you what, man, there's nothing like the feel of a good dense carpet of creeping thyme underneath your bare feet.
Ooh.
It is, man. It's like massages it. But I had some at our old house. We had some, and it was actually growing in the border, between the sidewalk and the house, and I would just veer off into that shit if I had no shoes on. Man, it was heaven. I loved it.
Well, I don't think it grows that high, so I'll be able to see the timber rattlers if they're hanging out in it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a Berber for your yard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Berber
it's
carpet.
that-
As
it's
a
that
carpet
kind
installer,
of,
I fucking hated that shit.
That kind of pile. But I love a good Berber, man, because it's like, your feet itch, man. You just
Until you pull a piece of furniture across it and pull a thread up, leave a nice little trail of nothingness.
yeah.
Whole fucking floor.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a Berber at the office at Trio Pest Control, home of William the Merciful, and he brings his dog in, Ember. She's a good girl. She's a little nervous. She barks at us a lot, but she tears that carpet up in the tech room. It's like I'll have big threads of it and shit, and I would say, your dog's such a carpet muncher, Bill. Yeah. But, anyway, yeah. So tonight, let's talk ants, Jack.
Those fucking ants again.
The flavor of the month. Fucking ants. It's like the one thing that comes out, you can always guarantee coming out before even the groundhog, man. Fucking ants. Ants of the odorous house variety are typically gnarly right now.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I get them in my house during the spring, but I haven't seen a whole lot of them right now because, the weather right now is so schizophrenic. It's tough. It's tough to figure out when they're going to hit. Before, over the past several years, it was an annual event. And then I would break out the Advion gel and I would gel them. And that's not one of those people. I typically don't put gel baits on the inside of people's homes unless I can find a nice hidey spot for them. Like in around the outlets and stuff like that. So they're not all glomming on it, and pissing the customers off. I don't care. If I've got ants trailing on the counter, it's nothing to me. I'll put a big old splooge of that right there and let them eat what they were, right where you pull up whatever they're eating, put that splooge down and let them have on that. I don't care because it's beautiful because it looks like like those aerial photographs of the wildebeest, the watering hole in the Serengeti.
Oh, yeah.
They're all lined up around it, man. That's fucking beautiful, man. And then you've got more wildebeests and gnu's and stuff like that heading towards it.
Because no gnu's is good gnu's.
With Gary Gnu's. That's
Gary
absolutely right, Jack.
If anybody remembers that Great Space Coaster show from the early 80s for kids, Great Space Coaster. No Gnu's is good Gnu's with Gary Gnu. Oh, man. Ants, it's cool when you figure it out. When you get it nailed down to following them back to where they're coming from and stuff, and it's that feeling of accomplishment, Then you get customers that they see one ant they want to burn the whole house down. Or you get someone that wants you to baseboard jockey because 3 years ago in my upstairs sewing room, I saw an ant up along the baseboard 3 years ago.
Along the baseboard. And they were going in my bathroom and messing around the base of my toilet. And I can't. Oh no, I just couldn't. I was going to the gas station to relieve myself because of the ants, And I have anxiety issues, and I just can't have that.
So I'm going to need you to spray everything, everywhere, everything.
Yep, that's right. And I want you to use this strong medicine.
Oh, you got to use this.
No, you got this strong medicine for those goddamn ants.
Oh, they're all over the fucking place.
Oh God, I love being politically incorrect. Yay! Hooray for me. Yeah, and then you talk about the thrill that you get when you finally tackle somebody's ants problem. Hi, Jenny. But another good one is sometimes you just don't have fucking time to do it. So what do? Vitamin T, baby.
Yo,
vitamin fucking T. You're gonna get in there. You're gonna take care of business because they've had another company in there and they couldn't figure it out. You going in there and you are desperately wanting to figure it out, but you've got 5 other stops and it's already 3:00 in the afternoon, and you're pressed for time and stuff like that. Sometimes you just got to whip out the big T. And
I was thinking of a different matter, but okay.
A lot of people think a lot of people like are. Like that's what it's like. Oh, that's lazy and blah 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 blah. And that's like, no, it's not lazy. It's effective. It works.
It's effective.
It's not lazy if it works, dude. And you know what? If you do it right, that shit works all season long.
Yeah, it's like diazinon used to work all season long.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was fucking awesome. Do you realize that we have another podcast in our chat room right now?
Well, it's like a total. Yeah, it is. It's the four of us.
We have the ladies from the Pestrogen podcast in our chat right now. So,
Yes.
good
Good afternoon, ladies.
That's right, ladies. Hello.
That's right. Good evening to Jen. Good afternoon to Candace. Jen's, of course, in a station, lives in Ohio, but works in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And Candace, Scotty went and fucked it all up. We got cock blocked by Scotty, man.
What's up, Scotty?
Is that Scotty G?
Yeah.
Want to know what it takes to build a successful blue-collar business in the trades?
There hasn't been this giant resourceful area that a construction-minded individual that wants to start a business, whether it be HVAC, concrete, steel, I don't care what you choose.
That's Cy Kirby, host of the Blue Collar Business Podcast. Dive into the world of all things blue collar, where Cy shares real strategies, hard-earned lessons, and the truth about what it takes to run a successful trade business. Best put your boots on. You're about to get inspired. Listen to the Blue Collar Business Podcast today, wherever you get your podcasts.
And Mario.
Okay. Jack, we've been talking about ants. What better time, now that Mario's here, to share the story that he sent us?
And then I'm going to share the story that Scotty sent us. So you go on ahead.
Oh, I know. Everybody's getting in here like, and Jen, no, it's not too late. Let's see. Let me go look at it. You guys, Jack, help me out here. Fill some time.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I had a chat with our good Australian buddy, Dave Lyon, and he'd gone up in an attic for, I believe he said it was for rodents. And when he got up into the attic, he said every rafter, every joist in the attic was covered with ant eggs.
Oh, man.
They were all over the way. He's like, yeah, that was an upsell. But, and he collects ants. I mean, he's got like a live ant farm thing with these big bull ants. And he got another bull ant queen for his collection. So he's like, I'm a proud dad. I got my bull ant queen. So, but he's
good for him, man.
He sent me pictures of these ceiling joists in the attic, man, and there were eggs all over the fucking place.
Yeah,
wow,
no
it was crazy.
Yeah. So, okay, Mario. Mario brought us this, and thank you once again, Mario. One of these days, I swear to God, one of these days, we are going to meet. I don't care if we have to do it and wave at each other across the Panama Canal. All right, let's get. Hey, Brad. I'm not going to do that one. He was greeting me on this part of it, so I'm going to skip. Thank you, Mario. A few years ago, I was working on a quote for a fairly large hospital and was accompanied by one of the hospital managers when she received a call over the radio. Doctor, we have a problem in the ICU. Then she turned to me and said, come with me and we'll continue the tour from there. She went to the ICU and waited outside. About 5 minutes later, she came out and said, we have a problem here that I think only you can solve. Can you come with me, please? Mm-hmm. And I went in and saw that one of the unconscious patients was covered in ants.
Oh!
As they say in New Jersey. The nurses hadn't noticed a leak in the patient's glucose IV, which had dripped onto the bed and floor. There were ants all over the floor, the mattresses, and the patient. And visiting hours were set to start in 30 minutes.
Shit.
Cue that ER, the ER music, the background music when there's a crisis. There were sugar ants. I'm not sure what you call them over there. We call them sugar ants, Mario. Here we call them ghost ants because they're so tiny and hard to see. I instructed the staff to clean everything up quickly and asked for a tube of silicone so we could seal the crack where the ants were coming. Getting in. Once everything was taken care of, the visits began and everything went smoothly. The following week, we closed the deal.
Da, da, da. Very nice.
Mario,
nice.
my man. So,
do you know the origin of the name piss ants? Are you familiar with the origin of the name piss ants?
I am.
I always thought it was interesting that to test for diabetes, they'd see if the ants would go to the urine for the amount of sugar that was in it. So they called them piss ants.
Oh, really? I thought it was for another different reason altogether.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Let me check this out before I put my foot in my mouth. Okay. I want you to, Jack, if you got a second,
yes.
Let's go to Google. Google the word Pismire. Pismire.
Pismire. Pismire meaning an ant.
Yeah, that's why they're called piss ants.
Huh. I always thought it was because of the sugars, what I always heard.
Oh, they're known as they're Pismires. So that's how it became.
Well,
now,
goddamn.
They do. They can do it. They can. I'm sure they could test for your urine for that. But I looked at it. I was wondering about that I was wondering about that a long time ago, and then I saw that, and I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does now. Well, I stand corrected. I thought it was actually pretty cool to see if they would go eating on the tankle just to see.
Yeah, you stand erected.
That's not a problem. I got pills for that.
There you go. It's nice.
Mr. Scotty Grill said he's witnessed puke ants. But I got his story here. He goes, years ago, I was doing a WDI for a real estate transaction. I'm greeted at the door by the seller of the home, and right from the get-go, I could tell he was a jagoff. He was a miserable old man who started bitching the moment I stepped in the door, telling me how everyone is out to screw him on the sale of his house. He needed a new roof, new wiring, and the drains had some kind of issue. Now, this house was as old and beat up as he was, and hadn't kept up with things over the years. So I stood there with a sympathetic smile, waiting for him to run out of steam, which he never did. Finally, I asked him where the basement door was so I could begin my inspection. You better not find anything, he barked as I made my way down the stairs. It was a typical miserable old man basement. Crap everywhere, covered in spider webs. I'm thinking to myself, please, I hope I can pass this house. Well, as I'm making my way around, I come across a dead carpet ramp. Okay, I'm not the guy who writes up a house for treatment after finding one dead ant, so I plugged on. A few feet over, I found a couple more, and then I find even more caught in spider webs and such. Finally, I came across a section under the upstairs bathroom floor where it was obvious that the toilet had been leaking for years. Jackpot. I complete my inspection, grateful that I didn't find termites, and I had to deal with that too and then go talk to the guy. I'm sorry, sir, but I found carpet ants in the basement, and then breaks myself. Bullshit, he yells. Now, I wasn't going to stand there and get into an argument about it, so I had him follow me downstairs to show him. Oh, that's nothing. Every house has a couple ants. Then accused me of trying to screw him like everyone else was. As I was explaining the relationship to damp wood and carpenter ants, I took my screwdriver and poked the soaking wood under the commode. The wood gave way, and I opened up an ant colony that came pouring out like turning on a faucet. Victoriously, I turned to see what he had to say about that. Without missing a beat, he barks, "This is bullshit! You put them there!" Well, that was enough for me. I made my way past him, wished him a good day, and left. I could hear him yapping all the way to my truck, so I fill out the paperwork and take it to the realtor. He starts reading the report, and I saw him wince. Carpenter ants, huh? Okay, what's the estimate? Fuck that guy, I said. The realtor looked at me, not shocked at all, and said, I hate that fucking guy. It was his problem now. I'm sure he earned his money on that transaction.
Hell yeah. Man. Wow.
That was a great story.
Mm-hmm. I love when shit like that happens, and I hate it at the same time.
When you can show up like, look, there they are. Then they just turn into a massive asshole.
Yeah, I think I told this one on the show before, but it bears repeating considering we're talking about ants today. Had a great customer. Had problems. They had just built a new log home down somewhere between Franklin and Nineveh, Indiana. That's south central. Due south of Indianapolis, about an hour or so. Out in the middle of a field, beautiful log home. Right. And I get in there and just 2 months into it, they're bitching about ants. And I was like, okay. So I'm taking a look around. She's like, I can't believe we got ants. We've had you for that. I said, you had me for years, but it's your old house. I said, you moved 12 miles away and plopped this thing right in the middle of a hog field. And, you got ants. I said, Miss Shaw, let me try to find these for you. Okay. And so I'm going down to the basement because I want to look at the inside of the foundation first, because it was pissing rain really bad. I didn't want to go out there right away, right? I would inspect the exterior as a last resort on this one, especially since there's no fucking trees around. And so, I was like, and Mister was there. I said, Doug, I said, is this cedar? He goes, yeah, it's Kentucky cedar, kiln dried. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm walking down to the basement, right? And the landing, we've got the logs going on. Very beautiful fucking house, right? And I go and I see an ant right there on the land, as I'm going down. I see him just go ploop into a hole about the size of, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the show, but about the size of the very end diameter of a urethral sounding rod from Tony Spangler Tumblers at SpanglerArt.com. Boop, he goes in there. I was like, oh, you motherfucker. I grabbed my duster, right? I'm in there. I got my bellows duster. Yeah, don't judge me. Judge me. I don't give a fuck. I
love
care.
those Jay Keaton bellows dusters.
Upside down, man. And boom. And then, I'm just watching all the way around the chinking and shit right there, And then I pulled it out and I sat down on the steps. He's like, what you doing, Brad? I said, Doug, come sit with me. He comes and he sits with me. I said, 5, 4, 3. I didn't even get to 3. It's just like, bloop. And he's like, I said, and then bloop. And then bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh, yeah.
Bloop, bloop. And then all of a sudden, I said, there's your problem. I said, that Kentucky kiln dried cedar that you got, maybe they should have kept it in the oven a little longer. but took care of the situation. They were customers of mine for years, and I got the prettiest fucking Christmas ornament that Mrs. Shaw made by her lonesome. And I will make damn sure that I can find it, and so I can show it to everybody on our Christmas episode that's coming up later on this year.
Yes,
because it's fucking beautiful.
I look forward to seeing that. I like with old log cabins. I've done carpentry at jobs in log cabins, and you get your little stethoscope, and you can just hear them. It sounds like static. Mm-hmm. Them in the, because if you look at like when the log comes out the side of the house, like when they cross over each other, there's like a little dip, like a divot on the underside of that log.
Right.
And there's that gap, and they just kind of travel those gaps throughout the whole house, and they'll pop up everywhere. And I've seen people that just let them go for the longest time and just ate the house up. Totally just ate the house up. It's a damn shame. Ooh, what you got there?
Damn. Oh, what? Oh, this is actually my retirement bourbon. My bride was cleaning this room and saw that my bottle was all kind of getting close to empty. So she just condensed it into a smaller bottle. This actually had ice wine in it at one time. Because me and her both love us some ice wine.
Wine? What the hell's
ice wine? Yes. Ice wine is made from grapes that have frozen on the vine. Mm-hmm. And then they take those grapes after they've frozen. It concentrates the sugars. And then they make wine out of it. They thaw them out, mash them up with the feet of lovely Icelandic women. And I don't know about the Icelandic.
So no Lucille Ball wine, because that was a great episode.
That was a fucking great episode. Yeah, we're dating ourselves, Jack.
That's all right.
But yeah, the ice wine was in that, and I've been keeping it. So when I go to visit my dad, and we always have us a little bourbon, and I don't want to drink his bourbon because he don't get out much to buy it, so I always bring a little something, and we suck on my bottles, and
nice.
So yeah, that's my carrier. So I'm going to drink on that tonight, and probably just go ahead and invest in another bottle here in the very near future.
Mr. Tyler showed up. How are you, Mr. Tyler? Good to see you in chat.
Good evening, Tyler. Anyway, so we were talking about some. We're still talking about ants, Jack. You got to bear with me. This is the first time in about a week I've been able to have a drink, and
that's all right. I was going to say, I know that when I've had technicians who've been doing it for a year or two, and this came up in conversation on the depot a couple weeks ago, that you get these people who've been doing it, these technicians have been doing it for a year or two, and they think they know everything. And, it takes more experience on the job to be humbled about it. And what happens is, like, I'd have a technician that had been doing it a couple of years, thought he knew everything, go to an ant job and can't seem to figure out the problem, where they're coming from, what's going on. It's like, man, I went around the outside of that house. I've granuled. I put Termidor. I can't see any trails or nothing. And the only thing I say is, did you look up? Did you look up? No.
Yeah.
You really should. Branches coming up across the house, the power branches touching the power lines. If it's above ground electricity, all that stuff. If the gutters are clean or not, you need to find out what's going on there. And they're like, oh, and they'd go back out to the job and come back and like, yeah, they were coming in on the branch upstairs through the gutter. I'm like, oh, you can just look up, man. It's just it's the simplest fucking thing.
Absolutely. Damn, I lost my place, guys.
Tyler said he's sunburnt to hell, finally off of work.
Sunburnt to hell.
I forgot what the sun looks like. We've had nothing but fog and rain. Well, for me, it's clouds. We got clouds. It's been moist. It's been really moist.
It's been really moist. Go ahead, get it over with.
I'm Michael Douglas. That's the only white man ever made me moist.
Shit. Oh, my God. Oh,
can't help
hey, we have a first-time contributor on the show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, we love our regulars, but man, when we get one that comes in, for the first time, it's always a thrill. So I'm gonna, a big tip of the crawl space to Alec Shelby. Thank you very much. He's gonna break his podcast cherry with us here with his story about ants. So buckle up, Buttercup. Let's do this. How many times has someone told you they've got to be coming from underneath the house? This is what you were. All the time, but most of the time we spot the interior of the house, place bait in active areas, and treat the exterior perimeter. I did just that at a house I don't normally service, but a homeowner got on with one of these $99 a month for 4 months deals, and she was tired of them dealing with them, ants and the other company. I could not get these ants under control because I would resolve the issue in one spot and they would pop up in another spot. So finally, out of sheer curiosity, I inspected her crawl space, and I found ants everywhere. There must have been 8 or 9 colonies in different spots based on clumping and trails. I wish I would have taken a picture. There was a dead mouse in there, and it looked like it was moving because all the ants. It looked like it was moving because of all the ants. And watching them for a few minutes, I saw the ants leave the mouse and go their separate ways. It was like a community well.
Yeah, I've seen that. But now I ain't too proud to say it. One of my first places ever when I got out of my own was a mobile home. And I loved that fucking place. And this is back when you could go to the local hardware store and get a box of diazinon, the powder, the granule stuff that you put in a lawn sprayer, and it would dilute it. And I got one of those Miracle Grow sprayers, the one that you fill the little canister up at the bottom.
Yeah, you hook it up to the hose and
yeah, and I hit all the pilings up under the mobile home. I pulled the underpinning out and sprayed the whole underside of the damn thing. I didn't see ants for the rest of the fucking year.
Jack, that's a level of brilliance I'm not accustomed to on this show. That's awesome.
But no, I tell you, I love that damn place. That place was cool as shit. And that diazinon, they get rid of all the good stuff.
They do.
That's why we have to make things like Phantom
Ficam and ants. Oh, God. That was the deadliest shit.
Dursban.
No, fucking Dursban. I was okay with Dursban. I appreciated the killing power and the fast knockdown of a Dursban LO. But, God, that smell. That was horrible. I am so happy that I am working in the industry now because so few things smell. Other than now, you go, you're treating the house. The worst thing that smells is the fucking technician.
There's something to be said for the stank of an orthene, though.
Yeah,
you want people.
Orthene, yeah, there's something to be said about the shit, dirty diaper, stanky smell. Well, it's like, what did this kid eat an industrial sized can of pumpkin?
Like, did you even do anything in my house? You go through and spritz a little orthine in each room.
Fucking A,
no goddamn.
Don't take much.
You could have not done anything but jerk off in the sump pump in the basement, and then walk around with an empty B&G. But as long as you give them a spritz of orthine in a few different spots, as far as they're concerned, you turn the whole fucking place into a biohazard.
Hell yeah, man! Orthine means business when it comes to smell.
Yeah.
Dude, man, orthine. Up until Alpine WSG came out, which has been my fucking number one jam when it comes to roaches. Orthine was a roach killing motherfucker.
Yes, it was.
It really was. And so, Jack, I noticed you're tipping a bottle tonight. What are you drinking?
I was enjoying myself a Rolling Rock, no longer made in Latrobe.
Latrobe, yep.
Used to be from the glass line tanks of Latrobe, but now it's another company that makes it like in St. Louis or something. It's not the same. It's about the only decent cheap beer around. But,
I thought it might have been imported from fucking Juju to Japan or something. But
I don't know if it's Unibev, which that's what, a Belgian company?
Unibev, I think so. Yeah, it's all conglomerates these days, Jack.
Yeah. Well,
as for me, I'm enjoying. Of course, we did talk about the retirement bourbon. That would be. I'm drinking out of a naked bottle, so let's give a tip of the hat to Evan Williams Bottled in Bond, because man, oh man, what a bourbon! It is all around good. It's easy on the throat, unlike me. And I
just have to back up an inch or two.
Absolutely, just got a tiny touch of sweetness. You can taste a bit of the rickhouse in it. It's got a flavor that betrays its young age. So yeah, it's an awesome bourbon, and I'm washing it down with, of course, my usual sweet tea that is in a Tony Spangler tumbler.
A Tony Spangler tumbler.
Everybody take a good look at the graphics on both of these puppies, man, because you couldn't get sharper graphics. My eye is fucked up, and I can still see this in really good condition. Jax is a Vision in Blue. For the Fork Union Military Academy, it's his tip of the hat to his alma mater.
Class of '89.
That's right. And since I can't get one from Marion County Jail, then I don't have my alma mater, but I do have Tales from the Crawl Space. We've got our beautiful PCHD logo on there.
Look at that.
And then, of course, on either side are some of the handsome studs you're ever going to come across.
Or
ever going to come across you. So,
with my penis.
Yeah. And there's so many features to a Tony Spangler tumbler. Jack was just displaying one there, the patented rubber bottom.
The rubber bottom.
Always a good thing. It keeps that thing from scooting around when you're getting drunk and belligerent. You're not going to knock that thing over. And I still have to put mine all the way over to the side so I don't go flying, because my arms flail around during a podcast. I just get all kinds of epileptic up in here, and so I can knock it down bigger than shit. But every Tony Spangler tumbler that you order today from SpanglerArt.com comes with the famous one only surgical steel
urethral sounding rod.
Urethral sounding rod. That's right. What better medical instrument could you have on hand for those times where you just got to go and just got to can't? So this is going to take care of you, man. It's got a rather sharp edge around here. It's not sharp enough that it can cut human skin, but it's sharp enough to go through any scar tissue that you may have.
It will clear out the detritus. It will clear out the detritus. You
know what? Kidney stones, forget about it. This is going to take good care of them. It's going to either push it back into your bladder so you can deal with it later, or it's going to catch it to take it out now. It's win-win. So I mean, this and of course, the Tony Spangler stainless steel urethral sounding rod also has the patented angler for those people with that Peyronie's disease that have issues. That scar tissue is so bad that it's making your wang go south or north or east or west. Either way, this will work. It is multi-directional. And will take care of any angle that you have to deal with. So
you'll no longer have an issue with the tissue.
That's right. And it is so easy to clean. After using the Tony Spangler tumbler, it's dishwasher safe, and you can also just kind of wipe it off and put it back in your tumbler and keep enjoying your tea.
But Tony will be remiss if we mention these should be hand washed. These are not dishwasher safe.
Do not dishwasher. Those are not. Now these are dishwasher safe.
Yes, they are, most certainly. But this,
in fact, if you do prefer a sterile environment inside your penis, this is the thing for it. So
that or an autoclave, but
autoclave. Yeah, I'm not buying a fucking $3,000 autoclave just for one of those.
Well, it is your penis that you're going to be taking care of here. So
it is. That's true. I should be kinder to my penis.
You should be kinder to your penis there. But
anyway,
if you can dream it, Tony can make it. My military school. Podcast stuff, any design you want. He can do some girly bling bling. Him and his lovely lady can get you done up proper, or you can get yourself a good old Tales from the Crawl Space tumbler. And we would love to see you have some of our swag out there. So you're damn right.
Yeah. So if you got a need for some sexy swag with some good bearded studs on it, if you need to keep a hot drink hot or a cold drink cold, and if you also have those nasty scar tissue issues in your penis, there's only one name to remember.
If you got Peronis, reach for Tony. Steal urethral sounding rods.
Now that jingle and the intro for all of our shows, the intro for the Pastrogen podcast as well, are done by my boy JT Starry, and he has a page on Facebook called JT Starry VO for voiceovers. He'll do jingles, he'll do music, voiceovers, impressions of different voices. He does a spot on Russian accent. But
the Russian accent rocks my fucking world.
And his business, his services are available to other people out there with podcasts or shows or whatever you need. So on Facebook, his page is called JT Starry VO. And you can find him there and get some awesome voiceover work done for you.
That's right. Absolutely. So, and so we're talking, once again, if you just joined us, welcome to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast, TFTC Live. We're talking those fucking ants again tonight. And, with us is at least, I think the one half of the, Pestrogen podcast is dipped off the chats, but Candace is still with us. Candace, thanks for hanging in there. And also thank you for the stories that I'm just about to read.
Oh, good.
So yeah, Candace came across with one, and she goes, first one is a lady that swears her old pest control, which was Brandon, who is her handsome husband, used to treat inside every week. She calls the property management almost weekly bitching. We go check every time. She won't be there. Her 18-year-old daughter will tell us, yeah, there's been a few ants, nothing crazy. They stopped when you put some of your stuff in the window. Another one is a monthly account through another property manager. Always has ants. She does actually have them. She keeps the house pretty well. But there is so much dropped food and an old rodent food stash under her dishwasher. I just told her again about it. Let's see if she cleans it up. Have another one where the guy is heavily infested. His house filled with garbage, literally bugs everywhere. Oh, and animal feces. For those of you who don't know, that means shit.
It's poop.
It's poopy all over the inside of the house, and he calls his property management crying about ants. And then on a personal level, she goes, "We live in what used to be a marsh and sand dunes. We get lots of ants."
No,
Thank you, Candace.
Yeah, and with the high water table and sandy soils, like when I was working near Annapolis, Maryland, that's right off the Chesapeake Bay. Little sandy soil, high water table. Man, ants were rampant.
Yeah.
Oh, that place.
Totally.
Oh, God. So I can totally understand where she's coming from with that one.
Oh, yeah. And over here at Stately Harvey Manor, my big issue of ants is right over around my kitchen where the outside wall. My thing is, and you've seen where, the party pad out there at Stately Harvey Manor. That dude, it's kind of difficult to get anything under it because it's huge. I'm gonna brag here. I have a huge deck. And my deck is so big that
how big is it?
You can't even reach all the way to the end of it from one end of it. That's how big my deck is.
Now, did you have the bushes around it cut down to make it look bigger?
Always.
It does help your deck look bigger.
You can never make your deck look big enough. And so the area around it does stay neatly trimmed. My issue is I can't get a whole lot of shit back through there, but damn it, I'm going to break out the vitamin T every damn time. Once a year. So I have had to loosen up that first board right up against the house. I can take a screwdriver, pop that up. I'm right there at the ground. I knock it out. Problem solved. We run into a lot of that. Jen is still here. I lied. I sit on a throne of lies. So, and Jen, speaking of Pesterton podcast, you are also featured on our comments. You brought us in a voice one, so we get to hear Jenny Wilson's beautiful voice.
Hot damn!
As soon as I get that dude queued up, we're going to check that out. I've been begging her all day for an ant story. And,
let me get ready. Hold on. Let me get ready.
Everybody prep up. Yeah,
that's right. Okay, so, I'm ready. Oh, you
hit the fart button.
You did.
I did. Well, I didn't even fart. So, okay, my volume's all the way up in here. Let's hear what. Okay, to preface, I have not heard any of this, so she could just be cussing both of us out on this one, Jack. So
I'd have it coming though. So
listen at your own peril.
So last year in the fall, I acquired a church. And their main concern was mice. Everything was addressed. Everything's cool. They ended up getting a small spout of ants because somebody left donuts out overnight. So we observed them around the coffee bar area. I did an inspection. I found some in the room next to it. In the mechanical room, I treated, I baited. Winter hit. I had monitors around, no activity, none of my baits anywhere in the entire church, nothing, none of my monitors, everything was good. Spring hits, they get mulch put in, of course, and I come to service, and lo and behold, there's ants. I observed one, then somebody passed me and said, hey, we saw some ants, and I'm like, all right, it's go time. In my region, it's not quite time to do an exterior because we still have freezing temps and it's still soggy, muddy. It's just not time. We're getting there. So close. But I'm walking around, I'm doing my inspection, and a Sunday school teacher walks by and she stops and she says, hey, the kids found an area they're coming from. So she walks me over to the middle of the room here in the lobby, moves over a chair, like a sofa chair, and in the tiniest little hole where the 4 squares of carpet meet are ants coming out of the carpet. And this carpet, it's like a gray-brown mesh where it's really kind of hard to see. It was hard to even tell that the carpet is carpet tiles, essentially, just squares glued down or something, because they just pull apart. So ants are coming out, and she goes, yeah, I saw a bunch of the toddlers over there just squishing them as they come out. And I come over, and she said there was just a bunch of squished dead ants around it and just a bunch of toddlers just going at it. So I thought that was a cute story to share, just because I had the pleasure of meeting Kevin from All Bugs Go to Kevin, if anybody knows that Facebook group. But he made mention about how fun it is to explore bugs like you're a kid. So, and on that day, I got to be helped with my inspection by children, and it was super cute.
That is cool.
But yeah, ants be smart, They be popping up under stuff and in places where it's camouflaged, man. But yeah, happy ant season, everyone.
My God, Jenny, thank you very much.
That was awesome.
Yeah, she goes, ants be smart, but Jenny be smarter. Paying attention to those kids. Listen to the children, everyone.
Back in my carpet installing days, I've done those carpet tiles. Man, they're a pain in the ass.
Oh, they are. Absolutely. But damn it, they're a hell of a lot easier than if they popped up right in the middle of a carpet that's not tiled. Because a carpet tile is great because you can pop that dude up. I mean that even goes with termite swarmers too.
I've had that happen.
Blow up right out of those damn things. But it's usually the ants because you get that sand, that dirt, gritty dirt and shit that goes around, and you're just like, all right, you're sweeping it up. I tell everybody I'm gonna lift a corner of this. I don't give a shit. Just get them out of here. And then I get in there and I do my thing. And but that's they come in the damnedest places, and a lot of people that if you're just starting out and you're just listening to this now, slabs are the worst. Usually they'll come up around the edges of the slab, but ever so often, especially in some of these older buildings with slabs, those cracks, those settle, they crack. Next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire, and you got ants flowing up everywhere.
And there's all different types of foundations, so you got to understand how the building's made to understand that. You got the monolithic one where it's all one piece from the footers to the wall to the slab. You got the supported slab, which the wall's built on top of the slab. Then you got the floating slab where the concrete was poured inside the foundational walls like you're filling up a pool. And all the ants come in differently depending on the construction of the building. So do termites. And you were saying about the termites coming up through the carpet. Remember that story I told about the office that had them coming up through the carpet in that warehouse because they had those little silicone seams in between the slabs of the warehouse? Yeah. The place was filling up with termites. They come right up to the damn carpet.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I got a story from Mr. Rodney Broom, my good friend, our great Nova Scotian, and
that's right, and General Badass.
Oh yeah,
extraordinaire,
Mr. Powerhouse Pest Control, and a fantastic guest host, absolutely exemplary guest host. He goes, "Hey brother, fun little carpenter ant story for the show this week. Had a call for carpenter ants a few years back when I worked for Big Box. Really nice old couple had a guest cottage on their property. Their grandchildren were staying there at the time, and they would snack in bed, in evenings. They would wake up mornings with ants in their bed with them. No clue where they were coming from. I showed my pocket microscope and stethoscope in tow, identified them to be carpenter ants, and put some liquid ant bait in a few spots on the floor near where I saw a rotten corner outside. While I was chatting up the old gal, the ants made a nice little feeding line for me to follow back to the corner. I listened to that corner area and was able to track activity to a leaking window. Drilled a few pilot holes, filled them up with dry on ant dust, and the walls started to practically rumble. They were falling like Rome all around that window and even started to pop out from outlets and the ceiling fan. It was raining ants. The old gal called me the ant whisperer with glee as we watched the carnage collect. What a great day that was. That is a great day. That is the greatest feeling when you, like you were talking about putting the dust in that and just watching them come out. That's the greatest damn feeling. That's to me, that's really second to watching the big fat carpenter bee female come out of that hole after you blew it full of dust and she's in her
all white and shit.
Then she comes out.
Oh, you can hear me there. Yep. It sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. Yeah.
Then she comes out and goes plop and leaves like a little bee outline on the ground. That's
like the tape. It's like the tape around a dead body.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a crime scene with a big old fat female carpenter bee. That to me is the best. And the ants pouring out after a good treatment like that. That's the second best feeling. Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely. It sure the fuck is. God damn it, Jack. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. I'm getting my beard worked on. I feel like I look like Howard fucking Hughes over here.
Yeah, well, all you need now is a spruce goose.
A spruce goose and, untrimmed nails.
Yeah.
Walking around with my feet in Kleenex boxes.
Well, he was an insanely rich person, and
he was. I would go to say that he was one of the elites.
I have to say, definitely an elite, almost like F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Indeed, yes, and absolutely. And
speaking of elite people, I wonder what pest control's like, or anybody got any stories about doing houses of the rich and famous and their pest control issues, or for really, really ritzy homes. I know I've got some stories, but I think that might make a good episode for next week.
I think it will too. Like bug issues of the rich and famous.
Yes.
I'm Robin Leach. And tonight we're going to do pest control services in homes that you could never possibly afford.
Cockroaches of the rich and famous. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But
tonight we're going to visit the mouse traps of Adnan Khashoggi.
Well, I tell you, doing pest control in Northern Virginia, Fairfax, just outside of D.C., I have done some fairly well-known people's homes for pest control. So I've got some definite stories from Washington Redskin football players to a Supreme Court judge.
I'm gonna need to rely on everybody else because I'm in Indianapolis, and if you're not an athlete or a politician, you are a broke ass bitch. So, I'm looking forward to hearing everybody else's stories. Now, what we want to do is we want to make sure everything is anonymous and vague as possible regarding the person that you're going to talk to us about.
Right.
You can say an athlete, you can say a prominent politician, you can say a well-known hooker, you can say, a movie, an action movie star, but nothing else. We want to protect you. In fact, I don't want to even know your name. Tell us the story. And, because, we're not going to get on here and we wouldn't use this as a platform for us to brag about the customers that we have and how famous they are and all this other good shit, because that's just hoity-toity, conceited, and we don't need that here.
And if you say who they are, they can pretty much nail it down to who might have said it. So just cover your ass that way.
Exactly. We want to protect you, the listener, from yourself, I guess. But we, at the end of the day, we'd love to hear the stories, and because I think they're really interesting. We, most of us just do average Joe people. The lower income, middle income, everything like that. But when you're doing somebody elite, then you got something going on. So, and we'd love to hear it, but we'd like you to be vague.
Yeah, send us your stories. Get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger or Brad Harvey on Facebook Messenger. You can email me at jack@tftc.wtf. We'll put something up on social media. You can hit us up there or on a Facebook post that I'm sure Brad will get put up here sometime in the near future about the show coming up. We would love to hear about your pest issues of the rich and famous.
Absolutely. And, in addition to that, Jack, on down the road, we've got a couple of good ideas from some of our listeners. Oh. And, we definitely we'll definitely talk about that. And, and if it seems like something that we can do, then we'll definitely give it a try. Jack and I, we're easy. We're not proud. We're whores.
I'll put out. I always put out.
You will put out. Yeah,
it's a guaranteed put out night for
he may not eat ass on the first date, but he'll put out.
I'll put out and I'll put it in my penis. I'll put my penis in.
Put it out, disco lady.
It's like doing the hokey pokey with my penis. I put your penis in, that's right. Take your penis out, take your penis in, and you shake it all about.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before I just want to let everybody know that I was kind of worried about a power outage here tonight. Not because we have any storms or anything, just because I've been cooped up in the house with this fucking eye for a long time, and I'm just getting paranoid. So I made sure that we had adequate light in case anything went down. Zombie apocalypse. I'm ready.
Nice, very nice.
I would infiltrate their ranks and start eating people's brains.
Those are good for crawl spaces, but some places make you wear what they call I call them hard hats, a bump cap, fucking bump cap.
Bump cap. No, they're hard hats.
Hard hats. It's like this one place where I was like, where's the B&G? He goes, oh, your hand can is over there. Fucking hand can.
Hand can.
No, it's a B&G. I don't care if it's made by Hudson.
It has a Hudson shape and whatever. It's a B&G.
Right. It's like when you get the cheap little wax coloring things from the dollar store, they're still fucking crayons. I don't care if they're not made by crayons. They're still crayons.
Cotton swabs?
Q-tips.
Fucking A, there are Q-tips.
Every time.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't care
and in some regions of the country, every fucking carbonated alcoholic beverage is a Coke.
A Coke. Down south, it's a Coke.
And I never got that. I'm good with all the other ones, but I never got that one.
Out in the Midwest, it's a pap.
A pap and a soda. It could be a soda or a pop in Indiana.
Gotcha.
Either one. But
I know in Northwest Illinois,
if it's a Coke, it's a fucking Coke. It's not anything else. You know?
Right. I was up Northwest Illinois at a Casey's, and I got a pack of cigarettes, piece of pizza, and,
of course,
and a Dr. Pepper. She goes, "You want your pop in the sack?" I'm like, "No, I don't want you to kick me in the nuts, but you can put my soda in the bag."
Pop in the sack. No, I think she wanted you to pop in the sack.
Oh, and I got a story about the Shakey's.
I think you missed an opportunity there, Jack.
I may have missed that one, but there was a Shakey's Pizza in Green Bay that has a whole different story. They those girls up there just love the little southern twang I got. So,
oh yeah,
can you say that again? That was super. It's fabulous.
Super. Yeah, I love the northern central northern Midwest accent for some reason.
Yeah,
and there's something just kind of wholesome about it.
I was up in Whiteside County near the Quad Cities between Illinois and Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up there near Moline, East Moline, Bettendorf, Iowa, and I had a Maid-Rite sandwich. Remember the loose meat?
Oh, you did.
The
loose meat sandwich, yeah.
Those are good, man. Those Maid-Rites are really good.
Did you leave a wad of gum on the wall outside?
No, I didn't. I didn't think to. I don't know. But I did stop at the laundromat that had a bar in it, which I think is one of the best ideas ever. A laundromat with a bar. It's called Suds. It was the greatest thing. I think the only thing better than that would be a bar of catwalks above a Walmart.
Yeah.
So, like on Black Friday, you could have like Black Friday bingo, and the winner gets like free drinks or a free appetizer, and like you get like someone with a whale tail. That's one of the squares. Someone in slippers, a fist fight, a huge person on one of them scooters that actually gets up to get something off the top shelf. Like it's a miracle. That should be like a bingo box. The Walmart miracle. I think that would be a great idea. But I tell you, a bar and a laundromat.
A bar and a laundromat. Jack, if we had a bar and a laundromat close to my house, I've got like five bricks out in off my driveway. I would throw them in there and put it on the rinse and the spin cycle just to fucking break it so I could go drink and do laundry at the same time.
Hell yeah.
Not that I can't do that here, but it's frowned upon.
Well, it's the atmosphere is different. You got other people drinking.
It is. You got other people that have thrown bricks in their washing machine.
Ladies, you want to get your man to do laundry? Set him to a laundromat that has a bar in it.
Absolutely. So
they'll never have to stitch your clothes ever again.
Oh no shit. So, Jack,
yes, sir.
We have a great thing going here with the podcast, but we are not the only pest control podcast out there.
No, we are not. We absolutely are not. We happen to have the two wonderful ladies from Pestrogen Podcast here in the chat with us today during the show, but we've also got another couple that we're pretty good friends with, such as Sean Muller's Pest Perspective podcast.
Pest Perspectives. He had a great episode. And if you're listening to here and you are residing across the pond in Great Britain, Sean's podcast actually gave you some credits.
You get educational credits over there in the United Kingdom for his podcast.
You listen to us, you get absolutely nothing. You get entertained, and that's what we're here for. We're not here to educate. We're not here to inform. We're here to fuck around and entertain.
But Sean is a mover and a shaker up in the pest control world in the United Kingdom. I think he's on the big committee up there and talking to a lot of big wigs. And he's doing fantastic. I really am proud of him for how far he's come. I think he's coming up on his 10th episode. He said. I believe he is. Yep, on his 10th episode, and he's planning on doing a lot more. So. Jack and I, of course, we guested on one of his episodes, it was amazing. We had a great time.
Yeah. Sean is a great interviewer, and he asks some really good questions, and it was very engaging. And we had a great time. And I hope one of these days that he lets us on there again. I doubt it because we do. But no. Yeah. Because he's not going to be able to apply for CEUs with us on.
Right. That's why we haven't been invited on the Pestrogen podcast because we rub everybody the wrong way.
We do, absolutely. But doggone it, we love them anyway. Pestrogen podcast. What can we say about Candace Nordquist and Jenny Wilson? I'm winking, but you can't see it because I have my But yeah, Candace and Jenny are great. It's pest control from a woman's perspective. They have some really great guests on, very informative. Whereas we have people on that, we just like to have fun with, Jenny and Candace actually, try to inform people, get other people out there. Last week, last week's episode with them was marketing with Jasmine from Jasmine to Pest Pro, and that was an amazing episode.
It was.
They really got to listen to a lot of good things coming from not just Jasmine, but the other two ladies as well. So definitely, I don't care, twigs or twigs or bushes, it doesn't matter. Pestrogen podcast is a great one for you.
I got to tell you, I love the mosquito one. Before that, they had someone with a mosquito company in Pennsylvania, and they also had a gentleman from Nigeria. And with their I think it's dengue fever is the big issue they have.
Dengue fever, yeah.
And talking about how that massive mosquito pest pressure they have and how they deal with it. I think that was an amazing episode, listening to how it contrasted and compared between the two completely different areas. And that was a great guest. I really enjoyed that one too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, he's chatting.
Hang on, I'm talking to Candace. I'm typing in the chat now. When the fuck are you going to have us on?
Candace corrected me. It's malaria. For some reason, I was thinking dengue fever. I could have sworn Mr. Francis Nwapa, I think his name is. I think he mentioned
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, very, an incredibly informative show. So, yeah, definitely. Pestrogen podcast. We've also got, there's a lot of other ones out there. I mean, there is, what's the one? Beauties and Beasties out of UK.
We're going to be on that show.
There's all kinds of podcasts out there. So definitely, we're making a mark on the podcast world. And as pest control, I'm not talking about me and Jack, but I'm talking about us as an industry. We're able, we can reach each other through these podcasts as we're working. You got your earpieces in, you're driving along in your trucks and stuff like that. You got a Karen just bitching the shit out of you, but that's cool because you've got pest perspectives on right now, or
that's right,
or Tales from the Crawl Space. You're just like, yeah. Oh fuck, Jack! You really said It's great. It's great. We are in our own little world here, and yeah, it's awesome.
Jen just mentioned in chat that those two guests from the mosquito show, Francis and Sue Ann, have partnered since to bring more awareness. And see, that might not have happened without their show, and I think that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Bringing people together. That's what we're all about here.
Candace
definitely that's what they're all about.
Candace says they're doing another podcast together on Sunday. That is fucking fantastic. And that was facilitated by the Pestrogen podcast, and I couldn't be more proud.
Look at you two ladies, man. Boo. Way to go.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Jack and I could not be prouder of you two.
Damn Skippy.
Fucking A. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go with bug issues of the rich and famous next week.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, I'm gonna have some fun with this thumbnail.
Oh yeah, and I've got some stories, and since I'm retired, no one's gonna fire me, and I'm not gonna say anything bad about the people, but I'll have to tell my stories, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be.
We'd really appreciate that, Jack, because we'd really like to hear your perspective. LOL. You know what? Hey, I had a great time tonight with everybody. I've been really bummed out with this eye, and first it was the knee, then it was the gallbladder, now it was the eye. I've really had a good time tonight, Jack, and I really appreciate you as a friend, and getting me kind of out of my cloudy spot. So love you, my brother.
Love you, brother.
And, okay, no, people, we are not getting a room. So I guess that's all we got for tonight. So looking forward to seeing y'all next week on Bug Issues of the Rich and Famous. So
that's
on
right.
behalf of Jack, on behalf of Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and all the ladies at Pestrogen, Pest Perspectives, and all the other, and Tony Spangler at SpanglerArt.com. Mm-hmm. Jack and I wish you would, for fuck's sake, just bug off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Oh, thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. Jack and Brad will be back next week with another great episode. TFTC can be found on almost every podcast provider available, and you can also find us on TikTok at TFTC 2.0, Instagram at TFTC Podcast, Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot Group, and our website, www.tftc.wtf. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you soon.